So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
Also YouTube, today here for some more games, bringing you a very spicy 6 Samurai profile. Again, coming from our charity event this weekend, and Alex went 3rd place with his 6 Sams. Now, he says it's a pure 6 Sam, which is very interesting, but it also has a multiple options for win cons, and there was a win con that I saw going through the deck before we started, which is very interesting. So without further ado, Alex, take us through your spicy 6 Sam profile.
Okay, so there's only a few spice cards in there, but we'll get to those eventually. So, pretty standard from here on out. We got 3 Kageki, we have 3 Mizuho, we have 3 Shinai, 3 Kazan, and the 1 Grandmaster. Now these are all just to get monsters on the field, to get counters out, and basically loop gateway into Oblivion. You get as many summons out, and eventually to get different attributes out, which I'll explain in a minute. Now for the other 6 Sams, we have the Onishi, Kizaru, Hatsume, the Dark One.
I've seen quite a lot of people play this, and I haven't actually looked into it.
So it's a pretty neat summon if you find yourself in a clutch situation where you only have the secret 6 Sams. You can just normal them, and that will summon out of its hand for free. But usually I use it at the end of my combo when I'm about to perform the FTK. And the last 6 Sam is Fuma. We're running no hand traps because we're committing 100% to this FTK. If it gets stopped, it is a bit of a glass cannon, but you should be able to ride out the whole duel eventually. But yeah, so that's the monster lineup. I'd say mostly standard apart from the secret 6 Sams and maybe the Onishi. Don't know if many people are running that these days. So for the spell cards, we have all our searchers, amazing, broken, not once per turn, just how I like it with my 6 Sams. And all of the cards to put the counters on. So we have 3 field spell, we have 3 united, which also comes up when we want to draw cards, 2 dojo, and of course 1 gateway.
Why 3 field spell and only 2 dojo?
So it was mostly just to keep the deck count down and fit everything in, along with also the only 3 cards to interrupt whatever hand traps they may throw at us. I've had ashes thrown at me today, and spoiler alert, the Call by the Graves came in clutch. So you had to keep the deck number down as much as possible, but to facilitate the spice, I had to bump it up to 46. Yeah. So here's 1/2 of the spice in here. Temple of the Kings. Now, for those of you who know what it is, you're already laughing.
I want to move the camera to Donald's face. It's just like...
Yeah, so this lets you activate a set trap cards on your turn. So this facilitates the FTK. But we'll complete that when we get to the actual cards. So in this particular deck, we're running the Bamboo Engine. So we're running 3 golden, 2 cursed, and 1 broken. I've recently got these, and it's just bumped the consistency up so much. Like, it's amazing with a sold when you send it, and then you just search out these or the other side cards I have in my deck. There's a lot of spice that I thought I'd bring to the charity event.
For the lols and trolls of the charity event.
Pretty much. So these are also some of the equips. Here's the rest of them, or all 2 of them. Living Fossil, Overdone Burial, both really clutch. I've never drawn more than 1 equip, solely thanks to the 46 card number. And these help revive and bump up gateway. And the other revival spell, Monster Reborn, I feel like it's not essential, but it helps. As for another win con, if you're seeing this, you're probably already thinking back to some of the old Spiral builds, which used to turbo out a very specific Xyz monster. So we'll get to that. the free call by the grave, and the win con, the 6 Shinobi, the only trap in the deck, and the way that you're going to win most of your games, if they don't ash you. So this, when you have 6 samurai monsters with different attributes on the field, this effectively skips their turn, kind of akin to the Arcana Force, the World's FTK. But it's with 6 Sam, so it's more nostalgic, doesn't run dangers. You could say it's not as degenerate, but Gateway is a bit of a good card. And the expression you get when you play this, it's priceless.
What are the cards in, like, is it Monopoly or something? There's like a card that says, take another turn.
Oh yeah, you advance to go.
That.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's not like rolling doubles in Monopoly, going past go and getting another turn. Winning. Anyway, good, sorry.
But yeah, so that's the main deck, 46 cards. I thought I'd have fun with it. My opponents didn't think so much, but...
I wonder why.
I wonder. So yeah, 17 minutes of just gateway. But yeah, so that's the main deck. I'll do the extra deck. So I'll start with the 6 Sam ones. So we got the Fusion, we have Shien, and the 2 absolutely busted Link monsters. So these help you get gateway if you don't draw it. I did draw it at least once on my first turn, so that ended up getting Dojo. This helps facilitate it a bit better when you have 2 Kazans and you just flood the field with counters. And if for some reason your Anishi gets like banished or whatnot, is your other light monster, it is doable. Makes it a little bit harder, but it facilitates it. Now, for the other ones, they're mostly Xyz monsters, surprisingly. So we got Levier, Rebellion, and Abyss Dweller. So this helps fetch the rank up. This helps special summon a banished 6 Sam, which I find helps a lot in clutch situations. This is because Orcust and Salamangreat exist. That's all about that. Sometimes when I went first, you can make this combo here. Might be familiar with it. Stops them from hand trapping you full stop. And for the other win con, we have Utopia and Utopic Zexal. This, if you get it off, they're not going to be able to activate anything on their turn. And then it's effectively skipping their turn. So all they do is they'll set, they'll pass, and then you just completely blow them out. And if you're facing a back row deck, it means they can't do anything if you make this and you're going second attempt. As for the last cards, we have Assault, one of the best Link monsters ever made, and followed up by another very good Link monster, but 3 of them. Sorry, YUGIOH, 3 of them. Draw cards. Draw as many cards as possible, get into your Temple of the Kings and the 6 Shinobi, boom, you got the combo. This also helps special summon monsters from your hand. It helps facilitate all the gateway loops, even more than back in the day. As for the side deck, I very rarely sided, but I thought I would only put a few cards to counter the meta and then some just to basically see how it would go. So we got the 3 DD Crow for Orca, Salamangreat, Graveyard decks, 2 Ash, mostly because of the deck count, but at the same time, you need to play it in some facility. We got 2 Mind Control, and to help go with that, we got 2 Enemy Controller, just in case you're pushing for game. In case you're going to run into an Imperm at all, or if you've seen them play Imperm, or you're facing back row, I played 2 Forbidden Lances. Kind of tempted to bump this up to 3 because testing in other builds, it does come quite clutch, especially if they try to hit your general. The last, I wouldn't call it a win con, but kind of stops your opponent from killing you, is the Burning Bamboo Swords, which is searchable off the cursed one. And if you activate another Bamboo Sword whilst this is on field, it skips their main phase 1, effectively making it so they have to set up for you doing all your loops again. And for the final 3 cards, You've got evenly matched. I think it's perfect against back row. Helps bait out the crescendo when you come to facing Orcust. Yeah, I think it's a really solid card, especially in most of the matchups today.
Fantastic. So as you can see, very, very spicy, very, very, again, like Mobile Knights, unorthodox. It's a very interesting deck to play around with. The Link Monster certainly unlocked potential in this deck beyond a reasonable doubt. And it'll be very, very interesting to kind of see how this deck goes forward. Yes, it does lose out to probably one of the most highly played hand traps of the entire format in Ash Blossom, but that is where you need to make contingencies and actually play around with it. Without a doubt, some very spicy, interesting text in the deck that definitely give it a different edge. But for now, that was Alex's third place 6 Sam spicy profile. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always,
Happy Nolan.